Nice to see you. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm in my car, so I don't have to wear a mask, which is really nice.
Yes, yes. It is one of those things. I don't know if you find this to be the same thing. I mean, I guess we're all in like mask land now. You get up to the door of anywhere you're going, and then you see the sign, you're like, ah! And then
Like,
you have to go back to the car.
I gotta go
grab the
all the
mask.
way back to the car, and
Yeah.
I can't stand that. Yeah, it's even after this long, it's hard to remember.
Right. And especially with that beard of yours, which we were talking about yesterday. I was on your Instagram and I noticed how majestic your beard has been looking lately.
Oh,
That trying
thank
to
you.
secure a mask over this beard of yours
Oh
is not
yeah,
easy.
yeah. It comes down to like right here, and then
Yeah.
I look like an animal. Like I've got an animal under a mask. Like I'm hiding a big, like a squirrel or something.
As a kid growing up in the semi-South, you were raised in a religious background, and I love the fact that a lot of people don't realize there is a religious tone to Skillet, but in the same sense, it's not an overthrown throne. And as a kid growing up with that, I was doing some research, and you weren't allowed to really enjoy rock and roll as a kid. When did you finally get your rock and roll injection that you're like, listen, mom, dad, I love you, I love our faith, but I gotta rock?
Yeah. You just said rock and roll injection. That has got to be an AC/DC song, either coming soon. Rock and roll injection. Yeah.
I'll call them and let them know.
We're injecting tonight. Rock and roll injection. Oh my gosh, we are right. You know how much money we could make? Anyway, what was the question? I can't even remember. Oh, when did I start getting into rock music? Yeah. Okay, sorry, I got off of my AC. I love AC/DC, so I got off of my tangent. Let's bring it back around. Yes, I was raised in Memphis, Bible Belt. Honestly, the worst thing in the world that you could do at my church was listen to rock music. Like my parents would rather me have been a drug dealer than to listen to rock music. Or it's like it's like in their minds it's something from like the book of Revelations. like the beast, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
like Iron Maiden's 666 was like rock and roll to them. Like that's what the Antichrist was electric guitars. It was a confusing way to grow up. My friends started listening to metal probably around sixth grade. Sixth grade is when you first start like choosing your own music, and I was at my friend's. We were going to play basketball, and he's like, dude, you got to hear this. And he puts on his cassette tape player, Metallica. And, I heard one from Metallica, and I was like, yeah, that's like the best thing I've ever felt.
Awesome.
It just changed it all. And, and that began kind of a fight with my parents over music and rock and roll. But I just liked the way it sounded. I liked the way it made me feel. I didn't want to do anything evil. I just liked the music. So that's why I do talk about my faith in my songs a lot. I write about things that I hope can help people. People are going through hard times. Look at this, where kids still aren't going to school. Parents are freaking out. A lot of people can't go back to their jobs. People don't know how they're going to eat, what's going to happen next year. It's pretty crazy stuff, So I like to write songs that make people feel better, give them a little hope, because it's a pretty difficult world we live in.
Oh, that coming out soon is The Aftermath, and the graphic novel that is coming out with that. Is this something that you made?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. So yes, first of all, as you mentioned, and thanks for promoting it, we have our extended record coming out. The album Victorious came out a year ago. So we're at the year anniversary. We're releasing The Aftermath. It has 3 or 4 brand new songs on it and some other stuff that's pretty cool and some good material. And we also last year released our first graphic novel. I'm a huge comic book fan, which I feel like we've talked about in the past, but I love comic books. And yes, me and 2 other guys wrote the first book of Eden. The book is called Eden, and the second one comes out in conjunction with the deluxe album.
Cool. So did you draw the pictures, or did you just write the storyline, or how what was your involvement in that?
I wrote the story, I co-wrote the storyline, And it was my concept, and then we hired a writer to help flush out how you actually write. I've never written anything, so I don't know how to write dialogue and things like that. And it was a really cool process because we did it together, and watching how they do it, and then they send it to the artist. So I did not draw it. No, definitely not. The artwork is really good. So people probably know it wasn't me. It's really good. And
you never know. That could be a hidden talent.
You know what? It could be, but I mean, they have to draw thousands of pictures for these graphic novels, and they have to really turn them out. But the book is really cool. If people want to know what Eden is like, it's science fiction. It's very kind of supernatural. It would be like Walking Dead meets Hunger Games, or maybe a touch of Blade Runner and things like that. That's what the book is like. It's very supernatural, very dystopian future, things like that.
John, it's time to get saucy.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but I love it already.
What it means is, thanks to PDQ, we have listeners that submitted a couple of questions that they would like to ask you. In return for that, they're getting hooked up with a gift card to PDQ, so that's exciting.
I love PDQ. So
the first question we have is from a man named James. And James would like to know, John, how did the group come up with the name Skillet for the band?
Okay. When we first started, we were all from different bands, and we were a side project, just writing music for fun. And so somebody said, hey, you guys are kind of like cooking, taking all these different ingredients out of different bands and throwing it in a skillet. And then somebody said, you should call it Skillet, man. That'd be funny.
Oh my gosh.
It was a very like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure moment. You should like call it Skillet, man. We were like, okay.
And you did.
And here we are 20 years later.
Wow. I actually did not. Did you know that?
I
didn't
had no
know that
idea.
either. All right, next question comes from Liz. Liz wants to know, has quarantine inspired you and Corey to write any new music, or has it been hard to be creative?
Oh, it is never hard for me to be creative. And not in a braggy way. That's just the way I am. I always feel inspired. I always feel, I'm a natural optimist as well. So I always feel kind of like, yeah, I could write something if you want to. Let's have fun. So it has not done that, but we mainly were writing, I was writing Eden 2, the comic book, and we were finishing up some of the songs that went on the deluxe project. So we have been working on music, but not really in writing, because we were finishing up those songs. So on the production, and I think fans are going to really love these songs on the deluxe project. So go check it out.
Awesome. I've got one more question from Anthony. Anthony wants to know, what superhero would you pick to join Skillet?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if there's a superhero that writes amazing hit songs, and I can't think of any. So, you can
create one. You can create one for your next comic book.
A superhero metal star. Let's just say I'll go Spider-Man, just because Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, and I think that he'd be fun to be with. You know what I mean? He seems like he'd be fun to be with. I could train him up in rock and roll, because if you saw the latest Spider-Man film, you will know that Peter Parker did not know the difference between AC/DC and Led Zeppelin in the film.
Oh,
which
come on, Peter,
yeah,
step your game up.
Which again, I'm certain breaks one of the 10 commandments, but I'm not sure which one. I have to go back and read my Bible, but it's going to break one for sure. It's definitely against the moral law, without question.
I'd say.
Well,
Yeah.
We got one more thing we're going to do with you there, John, and then we're going to let you off the hook. But it's time for the PDQ. Time to get saucy, rapid fire.
So first one, beach or mountains?
Beach.
Batman or Superman?
Batman, that's the joke. Batman for sure.
At home or on tour?
Tour. I really love being home, but I miss the fans, and I miss my job. So, that's hard. I like them both for different reasons, but I do not get bored at home. I love being home.
Good. All right, next one, shake or sundae?
Oh, shake.
Okay. What do you have a favorite kind?
Just a chocolate shake. Don't mess it up.
Okay, got it. And finally, driving or flying?
Driving.
Oh, I'm not going to be so easy on you, John Cooper of Skillet.
All right, baby.
Here we go. Chicken tenders or chicken nuggets, John?
Nuggets.
Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue?
Motley Crue times 10, baby.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
God, I suck at basketball. Okay. Fishing or hunting?
Hunting.
And lastly, honey mustard or ranch?
Ranch.
John Cooper from Skillet, you are off the hook. PDQ, rapid fire round. Thank you so much for your time today, John.
Yeah, it was great to chat with you guys. So good to see you.
too.
You guys be safe down there. And thanks to all the fans from all around the world for jumping on. We love you. And it's good to see you guys again.